next on The Love You More Show.
And then finally, you're the first lady of a church, worship leader, on television, Preachers of L.A., and then you make the decision. I know there had to be a wrestle on how many people that you would let down, because as pastors, I know you have talked to so many people and talked them off the ledge of being divorced.
Oh, it was so tough. It was the hardest thing I've ever had to do in my entire life. I knew I'm not dealing with no more.
Right.
I know that.
Yeah.
We're done. Like, I can't take it anymore.
Now, what does it mean to be loved correctly for Myesha Chaney?
I needed there to be love with action. I needed there to be consideration. I needed to be seen as a person. I needed somebody to notice when life was hard and do something about it.
What part of the relationship was the most unhealthy? Is it communication? Is it...
I'm gonna take accountability for me. My inability to set boundaries and know what I need and what I don't want to do.
Hey family, Willie Moore Jr. here, and welcome to another edition of the Love You More Show. Can I be honest with you? I'm so excited to be sitting right back here on this couch. Anybody who knows me, they call me a Jamaican because I got plenty jobs, baby. I wear about 45 different hats, but I like this one the best. Come on, somebody. Family, the Love You More Show is designed for anybody who's been through hurt, heartbreak in relationships, and their journey on getting back on track and becoming victorious again. I continuously tell my story. Of course, I was married for 15 years, and then, of course, I went through a very unique uncoupling. I understand this, that people are overcome by the blood of the Lamb and the words of a testimony, your testimony. And so today you're gonna hear one of the most amazing testimonies of our time. Now, this young lady, she hails from the LBC. I asked her, did she know Snoop Dogg? I don't know if she said yes or not. But I do understand that this woman, let me tell you how I got to know her. I ended up looking online, and I guess because of this show, it populates different subject matters. And for the first time in my life, I seen a woman of God who was speaking about divorce so candidly, but not aggressive. So honest, but not hurtful. I said, I might need to take a deep dive in what she's doing. I ended up spending about an hour with her online, just looking at all of these different videos. And I said, you know what? I think people who have been through similar situations or thinking about similar situations need to hear from her. Now, she is an author, she is a speaker, she is a singer, and in her words, she's your new best friend. The one and only Myesha Chaney is here. What's going on, sis?
Everything is wonderful.
Listen, I was so impressed when I had the opportunity to kind of check out your YouTube channel. For those people who don't necessarily know, you were married to Pastor Chaney. Mm-hmm. You was all over like reality TV shows. I know that you were actually a part of The Preacher's Wife, that particular reality show, and then The Preachers of L.A. And I met you in 2012 at the Merge conference.
Yes.
You and Pastor Chaney. And I remember it was like, those are the goals. That's relationship goals. And I'm young, half broke, and just thinking to myself, my wife ain't smiling like that. So that man doing something right. But I'm so grateful that you would come today.
Yeah, it's an honor, honestly.
Yeah. So the way we do it here on the Love You More Show is we like to start off with a musical icebreaker. And in this particular icebreaker, this is kind of loosely based on a process that I went through in my former marriage, where they always tell you, you need to go to counseling. Because everybody wants you to go to counseling. I'm sure everybody said for you, go to counseling. And so I go to counselor, and this is what happened. So wifey started counseling, and she thought it would be a good idea for me to come to counseling. Man, don't nobody really want to do this. Because I know she'd been telling this woman all my business. I walk into counseling. I didn't know her counsel was this fine. She been telling all my business. I walk in. Hey, ladies. I was at the wrong spot, and thank you for joining us. Truly my honor. Willie Moore. Nice to meet you. My honor. This is my counselor, April. So nice to meet her. Wifey like, so glad you can make it, darling. It's truly my honor. You look amazing. You do too. Energy in the room a little tense. Wife done told my business. So let's talk this out. In front of her? Damn. I'm like, okay. You ready? I am. Whatever you want me to do, I'm with it. Are you gonna tell the truth? I promise I'm gonna tell the truth. You worth it. Her eyes lit up like a Christmas tree when I told her she was worth it, child.
Time waits for no man. But if I could turn back the hands of time, I would do you better. I just want you to know the love I have for you is like the clockwork. It never stops. This is Lag Out.
Now I am not a mind reader, but I can tell you're lonely, overlooked. But what's funny is I put a ring on your finger. We both said I do, but we both know the truth. And lately we've been feeling single, cause we don't take the time to love each other right. Preachers say we need communication. Tonight let's speak some love language. Oh, first off, since we said I do, in the sight of God we can do what we do. Second off, we don't need no phone. We don't waste time too long. So let me love you like clockwork. Like clockwork. Steady going like clockwork. Like clockwork. Until the end of time. They say you're married.
The name of the song is Clockwork. It's available now wherever you download music, so make sure that you check it out. Myesha Chaney still hanging out with me. Myesha, I gotta ask you this. As I seen that and you were watching, and I'm thinking about you guys, you and your former husband being such relationship goals. Do you feel like you tried everything that you could to make it work? Did you all try counseling and all of that stuff?
I did. I think I did everything that I could. I mean, everything that I could to sustain the marriage for as long as I could.
Mm-hmm.
We went to counseling. I think we went to counseling too late.
Yeah.
I think it's better if you just go for tune-ups from jump.
Mm-hmm.
But counseling was my last-ditch effort. Like, let's go and do this, because if our marriage is going to be saved, we're going to have to do all we can. And counseling is one of those things that I felt like, let's just check it off the box, honestly.
Indeed. So how did Myesha grow up? Did you grow up with mother and father in the home? Like, what was that like?
I grew up, mom and dad were married.
Okay.
My dad was in the life, so he was a neighborhood Compton Crip. He was into all the things, in and out of jail, had a crack addiction. My mom told us that my dad was on vacation.
Yeah,
we didn't even know. So I grew up with that emptiness. He came home and when I was about in the 5th grade.
Mm-hmm.
And we just seemed to have like a traditional upbringing with just a lot of extras that come with people who been in the life.
Yeah.
But
So when you say the life, that means he was in the streets.
Yeah, he was in the streets.
Okay.
Yeah, he was about it. He'll pull out a gun. He'll pistol whip you. He was about it.
Yeah.
So I always had this fear in my heart that at any moment Dad was gonna take it there, and I knew he would.
Yeah. So when you were choosing a man, it's often said that the daughter marries a man like their father. Was that the case for you, or did you go the total opposite?
I thought I was going the total opposite, right? Because I felt like this meant, but honestly, when I met my ex-husband, I was like, he is fine.
Yeah.
I'm doing whatever he's doing. I never even questioned who he was and what he was about.
Yeah.
You're a pastor. Obviously, you're good looking.
Yeah.
So from the outside, this is a great situation. I honestly didn't know anything else.
Yeah.
So I got in the marriage and the relationship from an external position.
Yeah.
Nothing inside. And I ended up marrying a lot of qualities that my dad had that felt, and maybe it wasn't Wayne.
Yeah.
Experientially, me being who I am felt like I was in my childhood self at many points in my marriage.
Yeah. So growing up in LBC, dad's in the street. What type of woman is mom?
Mom is accepting. Mom is quiet, but she's strong. Mom is loyal to a fault.
Yeah.
And mom taught me how to grin and bear a lot and how to move forward and accept things as they are.
Yeah. So you see mom being accepting.
Mm-hmm.
What were some of the things that you seen her accept that you decided on the inside at that moment, like, oh, hell no, I'm never accepting that?
So when I saw it growing up, because my dad he would just rage out. Like, he would get angry. He would get upset.
Yeah.
I had a good relationship with him because I felt like as long as I was doing good and I followed all the rules, I'd stay out of trouble.
Yeah.
So I seemed like the angel, and I avoided conflict by being perfect.
Wow.
When I saw dad go off, go crazy, mom would just be like, you know your dad. You know how he is.
Yeah.
And as a child, I was saying, I don't want to do that. I don't want to be around that. If this is not love to me. Like,
Yeah.
you don't talk to people this way. Like, I knew as a child that it wasn't okay.
Right.
And yet when I grew up and got in a relationship for myself, a lot of things that I thought I would have said, oh no, I'm not doing this, I accepted.
Yeah.
Just like mom.
Yeah.
And a part of my healing was telling my mom, I learned a lot from you that was not okay.
How important is that for other people who may have, I often say the way that you were raised is not the way you were made, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people think because you was raised this way, the Bible says that we're fearfully and wonderfully made, but it may not necessarily be as wonderful the way that you were raised. And I would rather take the stance of, man, I'm from the neighborhood. And so even coming into the gospel or even in a relationship, for me, I was taught to have a woman for every need, right? Like, I grew up around those type of guys. That's what hip hop taught me to do. So then coming into Christ, it's like, that's the way I was raised, but that's not the way, that I was made. And so how important was it for you to, like, come to the realization, like, as much as I love you, mom, as much as I honor you, pops, there were some things that I really picked up that I shouldn't have picked up?
The crazy thing is, I didn't have that conversation until I was 40 years old.
Jeez.
After my divorce was filed and I started doing the work.
Yeah.
I didn't know. I went 5 years in therapy and knew I was like kind of healing parts of my trauma. But it wasn't until I was fully divorced and doing my healing work that I realized, until I resolve some of this stuff, I'm going to continue to replay this in the next relationship, and it's not okay.
Yeah.
So this is like a year ago. I sat at a round table and said, Dad, I watched you do this, 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 and this.
Yeah.
And it was not okay. And it deeply affected me. And Mom, I saw you do this. So it is very important to go back and heal that trauma. I wish I could have resolved my childhood stuff before I got married.
Yeah. That's so honorable to say.
I wish.
I see so many young ladies living out their childhood and taking out what they wish they could have took out on their father on their husband. Like I get a chance to sit with so many different types of men, and men tell me all the time, like, sometimes when she angry, the little stuff that she mad at, I'm thinking to myself, it don't even require all that.
Yeah.
But I've learned now that there's a little girl and there's a little boy in each one of us. And as long as that little girl doesn't offend my little boy, I'm cool. But if you offend the little boy in me, it's either up to me to respond like that little boy, or I'm going to respond like the man that I know I'm supposed to be. And it's like, I don't know which one gonna win, depending on what day it is and depending on how tough you are. If there was one thing that you took from your childhood and you like, man, I wish I wouldn't have took that into my marriage, and you take full accountability for, what would that be?
I never felt safe. Never felt safe in the world, never felt safe in my body, never felt emotionally safe. And that was up to me to create that safety. But as a child, you rely on the people in your life to do that for you. So when I got married, I still didn't feel safe.
But you married a pastor.
That's the part of it all.
Yeah.
And I jumped completely off the cliff. Finally, I have love, because that's all I ever wanted. Yeah. Finally, I'm safe. Finally, I'm here. And unfortunately, that work was for me to do. It wasn't based on who I was in a relationship with or who I was married to. Yeah. It's up to me. And I had to go through 2 decades of inside feeling like I just want to take the clothes out of my suitcase and put them in the drawer, but couldn't and didn't have the skill. So when I got divorced, I was like, I hit rock bottom. Everything in my life was over, essentially. I lost 100% of the things that mattered to me. And I was like, finally, you are going to do the work. We are not coming back here. And you're going to go and dig up everybody that you thought you buried. You're going to go through all of the things. And it's took me about 2 years to finally feel like I am at home in myself.
Yeah.
Finally, I don't have the little girl is with me, but we've had such a good relationship over these past. I mean, I go play.
Yeah.
Like
I see your Instagram. You going somewhere.
The work.
Yeah.
And I was like, all along, it was right there in front of me. And I wish I would have carved out more space to sort through some of the stuff that I had gone through before ever choosing a partner. And it would have saved me 20 years of my life.
Wow. Family, I want to encourage you to go ahead and subscribe. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel, leave a comment. Make sure you share this with as many people as possible. If you're just tuning in and you just kind of fell on the page during the premiere, if you're watching during the premiere, Myesha Chaney, author, speaker, and your new best friend, come on somebody, but former first lady of a church in California. And so I know just by looking at you and listening to you, you already said, like, my safety was if I just do everything right, and I do everything right. And then finally, you're the first lady of a church, worship leader, on television, Preachers of L.A., and then you make the decision. I know there had to be a wrestle on how many people that you would let down, because as pastors, I know you have talked to so many people and talked them off the ledge of being divorced. And now you're doing the very thing that you told so many people not to do.
Yeah.
How tough was that decision for you?
Oh, it was so tough. It was the hardest thing I've ever had to do in my entire life, but maybe not for the reasons people think. What made it tough was I had wrapped up into this role in this relationship, all of my self-worth, who I was. That stage meant everything to me. That's where I got my affirmation. That's where I got being enough. I had a man that was attractive who chose me, which means because he chose me, I'm worthy. So I had all these intangible things connected to this, and I had no idea. So me leaving the relationship and deciding, which wasn't as fluid as that, okay? I was just taking the next right step. Yeah. I knew I'm not dealing with this shit no more.
Right.
I know that.
Yeah.
We're done. Like, I can't take it anymore. Mm-hmm. But I didn't think that the relationship was over. I thought maybe we can negotiate some type of alternative. Like, just take care of yourself and I'll take care of myself. Like, I was at the bare minimum. Mm-hmm. Like, we could have a family. We can have all of this, maybe in a different way. So the next right step was I got to cut out things. I'm going to die if I stay here. I'm going to really, like, my life will be over. I will be sick. I just felt it like I've never felt anything else in my life. Mm-hmm. So I was like, well, maybe we can cut out the church. Maybe I don't need to work there anymore. Maybe that's too much of pressure, because this is the husband who's the head of my life. It's my boss, because I went full-time in ministry and we worked together and built together. Wow. So now my livelihood, now this is the father of my children. Too much of my pie was controlled by one person. Mm-hmm. And I know, man, let's fix that. Maybe I was just cutting out everything, like trying to find a way to negotiate. And the next right step and the next right step. And we found out very quickly that was not going to work. Mm-hmm. And I honestly had no other option. It was either die or leave. And I thought my life has to be worth more, because in church we're teaching you're a living sacrifice. Die to yourself. That stuff is not healthy for people that are not in a healthy situation. And for me, dying to myself nearly killed me.
What part of the relationship was the most unhealthy? Is it communication? Is it?
I'm gonna take accountability for me. My inability to set boundaries and know what I need and what I don't want to do. I did way too much. I took everything. I did 100%. I was the muscle. I was the man behind the organ. I was making it all happen. I was trying to have sex as often and as wild as can be. I was just, some days I didn't even sleep. 24 hours I'd stay up. And we thought that Myesha is a workhorse. She loves this. But there was a beautiful, wonderful person deep down inside that wanted to be cared for, that wanted to be seen, that wanted somebody to look and say, you've been working too hard. I'm going to let you sit down for a few weeks. Yeah. That never happened.
You know, I think I made that mistake too. Not necessarily on the work part, because I didn't have that type of wife. But I do know, you know, I had never seen anybody with just one person who works to go out get the money, to go do acquisitions and build. I grew up with 2 ex-sharecroppers. My daddy 92, my mama 82. They worked hard. They worked as custodians and they did whatever they had to do. And although we didn't stay in this immaculate house and beautiful, you know, our neighborhood was nice, but I just seen a whole lot of love and a whole lot of hard work. And I went to go create a whole nother life that could create some time with you to be with the children. You don't have to go outside. You can just live and do whatever you want. Every time you swipe the credit card, you're gonna go through. But I overlooked the fact that there was so much work going on the other side of that door that I walked into every single day. And so I think I wore it on my chest as a badge of honor that I'm the man who's preached, providing, and protecting. But I don't think I did a very good job of protecting her confidence in who she was by not valuing what she did.
Yeah.
And that was my biggest mistake. Do you think that sometimes men in general, or even your former husband, may have just looked at because he's thinking of sermons, trying to create and take care of everybody else? Do you believe he was malicious in his actions or just an oversight?
I think it may be a mixture of both. Maybe he was just doing the best he can. And that's the credit that I give all of us. Like, we're not taught how to do this. Yeah. Nobody sat down and said, this is how you're going to be a great wife or a great husband. So this mature version of me gives the benefit of the doubt and says, you know what? We're all trying to figure this out. Like, at the end of the day, everybody is here to be a teacher. And this was just my lesson in life to help me get to where I am. And I hold a lot of space for honor and respect for all that has happened because it was necessary. I do think it's quite possible that he was doing the best he could in his own way. And I needed the affirmation. That's where I was getting the love. So the more I did, the more love I received. So that's how I was getting love. That's how I was showing love. I'll do it. I got it. So it did give the illusion that I didn't need anything because I was always the doer. But you can't do it for 18 years and it not somehow something gonna break down. But I was communicating. It's breaking down. Something has to change. This is not working. I had done therapy at that point. I had understood what was going on. So did you go
together or you just went on your own?
I went on my own for 5 years.
I think that's the worst thing you could do. Because I went on my own.
I went on my own for 5 years.
And when I went on my own, I was like, I see things different. So even when it would be these ferocious arguments, it's like, you're not gonna say nothing back? I'm just like, no. That's that's something you got to deal with. It don't have nothing to do with me. Because I started to see myself as a codependent, a person who was codependent on others' opinions to be who I thought I needed to be.
I was definitely codependent, definitely an empath, definitely had to do a lot of work in that space.
But I believe oftentimes, and I say this often, that once the little girls are healed, the woman appears. And when the little boy is beginning to be healed, that man started to appear. And I could no longer respond to the little girl in you anymore. And then that's when you make a cognitive decision to do something different. There's a clip that I seen, and I don't even know how I found this clip, because it's from 2023, where you said this.
I remember walking down the beach. It was in Newport. It was probably a Monday in the afternoon. It was a gentle breeze. People were riding bikes. I never forget that day because parking was easy. My ex-husband and I were walking down the beach. We're talking about different things, and I just, out of nowhere, said, I don't know if I see us old together. And he's like, what do you mean by that? And I said, I just can't see working and doing and being like I am now, 30 years from now. We filed that conversation, but I never forgot that feeling. Sometimes our relationships are going through transformation right in front of our eyes. And sometimes our relationships are over before they're actually over.
Damn. How you... KD, the woman said, we walking on the beach. And she said, I don't really see us 30 years from now. Do you realize what that did to a man?
I'm listening back like, did I say that?
You said that. And evidently you
that.
said it in real life, because that's not nothing that you would fabricate, because I'm sure they told your ass up in them comments.
They sure did. They let me have it. The men were just, see, you always dealing with emotion. But I think there was something much deeper going on.
So it was, but how long was that before? So did you make the decision to say, hey, I'm going to go to the courts, or was he just like, I'm done with this?
We were actually talking. We actually had a very good friendship. So we had the conversation. Mm-hmm. We both understood that it was not going to work. Mm-hmm. We got a mediator. Mm-hmm. We both agreed to go to mediation. So at every step of the road, we were seemingly in sync with what needed to happen. Mm-hmm. So the reason why I took the responsibility that it was my decision was because I could have stayed married.
Mm-hmm. After mediation.
I could have stayed married the way the marriage had always existed.
Mm-hmm. Would have just been for optics?
It would have been for optics. I would have been cheating. I would have had to go find something somewhere else. I could no longer do it. It would have been bad. So in that way, he was willing to keep it the way it was. I just wasn't.
Yeah, divorce is not good for business, especially ministry business.
Yeah, I was like, oh no, so we agreed that it was over.
So how long was that conversation at the beach to the moment that you guys started mediation?
I would probably say it could have been 2 years, a year.
Dang! Golly.
At least.
In the clip you said, like, I don't see this 30 years. Mm-hmm. Like, what was there a response?
He was just more like, what do you mean by that? Like, because the thing about illusions is we believe them. So I think we both thought, well, we have this perfect life, right? Aren't we perfect? We have the kids and we go on vacations and like, we built a beautiful life from the outside looking in. Mm-hmm. But for me, I needed to be loved. I needed to be cared for in a deeper way. And I had been a robot. That meant for me emotionally cut off and just doing all the functions, showing up to church, doing all the things, smiling. I didn't feel like a fraud because I enjoyed my life to a certain extent. Like I wasn't faking in what I was doing. Right. I just wasn't my full authentic self.
Right.
And for 14 years, I just went through the motions.
Right.
And then I woke up. And that happened through therapy. That happened through graduate school. And I started to realize I'm a human. I need things. I want things. And I had never had that.
Yeah.
I started saying, I need to be loved.
Yeah.
I'm worthy of that.
Yeah.
And it's not about what I give. It's about me just being a human. If I could never walk, talk, sing, speak, anything, would I be loved in this relationship?
Yeah. So you said you needed to be loved. And it's without a doubt that, you guys were in love.
That I was loved.
What does it mean to be loved correctly for Myesha Chaney?
I needed there to be love with action. I needed there to be consideration. I needed to be seen as a person. I needed somebody to notice when life was hard and do something about it.
What is do something about it?
If you are coming up the stairs with 1,000 bags in your hand,
yeah.
I'm going to take half of those bags. That's a very simple way of thinking of it.
Got it.
That means if I have 3 children and one has to go to the doctors with special need, that maybe I can leave the 2 with you and take the 1 to the doctor.
Got it. Just consideration. Okay. I just wanted to make sure it wasn't nothing like, I need to be loved. Yeah, I want to go to Paris on a Tuesday. It's like, we ain't got time for this.
Let me tell you about Myesha. Yeah. When I got to my mature self,
yeah.
I'm gonna tell you how I want to be loved.
Yeah.
I gave examples.
Yeah.
With an outline.
I can see that.
No mystery. No mystery about it.
Yeah.
Like purely like, Here's where I think I could use help and support. Here's where I feel like I can be loved more. The more I learned about me, the more I grew to know what I wanted and needed, I could communicate it. So it wasn't a mystery. It wasn't like, just love me better. And I flowed in the masculine. So I thought like a man. I felt like a man. I was making decisions. I was firing people. I was hiring people. I flowed in the masculine. I was not in my feelings like that for a long time. So when I said love,
she float in the masculine case.
Flowed.
You float in the masculine.
I did.
You could just.
I was in the masculine. I listened to.
Did you
men.
bring that behavior home?
In some ways, yes. Yes, in my environment, because I was doing all these things. I was making decisions. I was running the finances. I was running life. I was making the calls on a lot of things. And though he was there and he also had the power and the authority, I would just tee up the balls, right? I would put
that's what we doing.
Here are 3 options. Which house do we want? This offer's going for this. Like I would lay out everything and say, you make the choice, honey.
So why is that flowing in masculine and not just being a helpmate?
Because the helpmate, I think, is adding value in a very gentle, nurturing, loving way. Mm-hmm. And the feminine doesn't always have to take responsibility. So when I would make decisions, I would also be accountable for what went wrong. Mm-hmm. And for me, it felt like the burden was on my shoulders.
Okay.
So when I'm in my feminine, I could come alongside and say, honey, here's the same research, but I know it's on you to make the decision. It's on you to own whatever the outcome is. It's on you to fix whatever happens because of that decision. And I don't have to wear that.
Okay.
So for me, I wore all parts of it.
Got it.
But I allowed you to make the choice because you're the man.
Got it.
Without you carrying the burden of being the man.
Yeah, so I'm not being a stickler.
Uh-huh. I love to educate.
I actually want to know.
Yes.
Because, I just believe, because I see so many men and women who are together, especially when you're working with creatives, leaders, pastors, people who have to lead people from a public stage. Like a lot of the minutia in the household is really done by the woman. Like she may have to call the bill people or talk to accountant and this.
Oh,
that,
yeah,
and
that's totally fine.
Yeah.
I love keeping house. I love taking care of my family. I love cooking, cleaning, all those traditional things.
Yeah.
That was fine, but we worked together.
Yeah.
And so in work, I would get the staff together and I would come up with vision and help, and then we would talk, and so the dynamics maybe at work overflowed into the house. And it worked for over a decade. It worked quite well. It brought us into new opportunities. It helped us advance in our careers, in our ministry. We had a great ride. It's just, it wasn't sustainable for life.
So after 10 years, how would one transition to a different type of behavior? Because I believe that change don't come in a moment, it comes over time. Yeah. So how does one who has a system that's seemingly working, God's breathing on it because it's successful in the earth, but of course it's weighty on one person and probably weighty on the other person too, but not being able to really get on a level playing field. Like I like to say that the ground is level at the cross, but it's not always level in the home.
That's true.
So how could one change the trajectory of the family to say some of this has to go to you? How can somebody do that in a healthy manner?
Yeah, I think as long as there are 2 people that are willing to grow and 2 people that are committed to being the best versions of themselves, it's quite possible. I expect it. I want you to grow. I want you to change. And it comes from sitting down and having healthy conversation. Hey, hun, I know for the past 10 years, I have traditionally carried these different roles. I've paid the bills. I've done this. I've done that. I've led in this way. And I'm feeling that there is a shift. I'm evolving as a person. And in this next season of life, here's where I want to add the most value. What are your thoughts about that? How can we sit and come up with a way that also supports you, but makes me feel empowered and alive in what I'm doing?
Oh, here she goes. She wanna change. Not just playing.
I would just wait.
That's how I go. Right.
Here's what you're doing that I love.
Yeah.
Here's what I'm doing that I love.
Come on, stroke the ego.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
win bees with honey.
Yeah.
And see how we can negotiate a shift. I'm not asking for my partner to do what is impossible for them. But maybe they say, well, I'm going to take a couple extra gigs to pay for that nanny.
Yeah.
I'm going to do this to pay. You don't have to do it, but there are some shifts that need to happen. How am I going to feel loved in ways that maybe you can't provide?
Yeah.
Maybe I need to have a weekend away by myself. Maybe I need to increase on my spa time. Maybe I need you to help pay for therapy so that I can heal some of my childhood wounds, so I don't put the responsibility on you to take care of me in ways I need to take care of myself.
That's responsible.
Like I'm all about the solution in a loving, thoughtful way.
Yeah.
And if two people have the minds to solve a problem together, you can get far better and go far further than you can go by arguing, by getting in, it's your fault or my fault. That's why a lot of times I talk about this. I really do try to take all the responsibility that I can.
You do.
It's my problem that I didn't love myself enough to create the boundaries that I needed. It's my fault for agreeing to do stuff I didn't want to do. It's my fault. That's not his problem.
Mm-hmm.
I set up the marriage to do things a certain way. I changed.
Mm-hmm.
That's really not his problem. But I got to own that because of this evolution, because this cannot play out in this relationship, that I got to go and do something else.
How many other first ladies have reached out to you kind of privately to see how it worked out for you?
Plenty. More than I would love, because it's crushing for the pastor's wife to go through divorce. Absolutely unbearable.
Yeah.
It's almost worse than, you might as well stay married. It's worse for a season to go through that. The way it works in our society, the way it works in the religious structure, you are, as a pastor's wife, praised, adored, platformed, celebrated on, and when you're divorced, you are absolutely nothing. You mean nothing. You have no place. You're free to go about your life. And people will tell you, I love you, but in actuality, there is very little healthy love experienced for the pastor's wife after divorce. Even after a husband dies. Yeah, it vanishes. I had a birthday for 22 years in ministry, and somebody thought of me. The moment I got divorced, no one thought of me. Not the people that I was there for. So pastor's wife reached out to say, is it really this crushing? And I have to say, yeah, it is. And it's also okay. Because if you're doing your work, you understand that love was beautiful and necessary for what it was, but it doesn't substitute for self-love. Mm-hmm. And what I was expecting externally, I had to give to myself.
How did that affect your opinion of the religious structure and your relationship with God? Or are those two different things?
I had a lot of anger toward that because I showed up for people. When people went through divorce, I would tell them, I haven't seen you in church for 6 months. Where you been at? Oh, I'm going through a divorce. You better come to church and you sit with me. Sit with me every Sunday. Ain't nobody gonna say nothing to you just because you're in this season of life. So I showed love. I paid mortgages. I helped people when they were going through a divorce. Husband locked up all the money. I don't have anything. I would send them PayPals. I would send them money out of my pure heart. I didn't even tell anybody. So when I went through a divorce, I had an expectation that I would at minimum be handled the way I handled other people. Yeah. At minimum, reap what you sow. And when I tell you strangers took care of me, strangers thought of me, it changed my perspective of God. It changed how I felt about religious structures. I thought, this is not okay. How can I be useful for all of these beautiful things for decades of my life? I have one shift and I am no longer worthy, that I'm canceled from engagements people I've built with for 20, 30 years. Gone, done, no conversation. Friendships that I had, mutuals, run off in the sunset with my ex-husband, who has the power. It's usually the power differential, Whoever has the most power gets the most love. And whoever people think doesn't have much power, they get nothing. And the pastors' wives have found such comfort in saying, you can go through all of that and 10 toes down be who you are. And it's okay. And I am tremendously blessed because I moved through that. Now I have a profound love for the people that I've served because it was a gift to me. I got to spend 20 years of my life helping people. I can't be angry about that for any reason. And then I put myself in their shoes. What would I do? When your pastor and wife got divorced, did you leave your church? What am I expecting of them? So did I build enough of a relationship with them for them to support me on the other side? That role was conditional. I was your pastor's wife. I'm no longer your pastor's wife. So what is our relationship now? Yeah. So I help walk people through and try to model, if I died tomorrow, I know I left as much of a blueprint that you can go through hard things and get to the other side and it be okay.
Well, you know, as we kind of land the plane, you're also a mother and you have 3 children. And I would say being adopted, never meeting anybody in my biological family until 2020, I think I just always desired children. And I just wanted it to be the right way. As I look back at it, if I can be honest, anybody could have been in that seat because I just knew what I wanted. I had a vision. I just wanted somebody safe so I can take care of them and have children. And I didn't necessarily love the person the way they needed to be loved. But I did love those. I do and do love those children correctly to the best of my ability. As a mother, seeing them go through these transitions and having to tell them that that's not a reflection of God just because those people were so cruel to us in this season. Like, what was that like for you as a mother navigating through these very unbearable waters? Well,
I tried to be honest and I said my kids' relationship with church and with God is not mine. My relationship with their dad is different than their relationship with their dad. I encourage them to go to church. We love the people there. They've been so good to us and our family. So I think I led with honesty and transparency. And I separated myself from the circumstance. When they brought up stuff to me, we just called it like it was. But because their dad is still leading and pastoring, it's a world that they go into whenever they want to. You know, they can be at church and feel that love. And so to them, it was just like, mom is just not here.
Right.
Why is mom not here? And I think we navigated it the best we could. I love my kids. Okay. Like my kids, I love them.
Good stuff.
And I'm willing to do whatever it takes, even if it's letting them go have their experience, to protect them, to show them that love. So we did the best we could. It's tough. It took some time. They say, Mom, come to church.
You like, never.
And I would go. I would go with them a few times. If my son was doing something on stage, I'd go and support him. And
was it like lights, camera, action when you went, oh my gosh, see?
A little bit. People were like,
that's the hard part.
Yeah.
Because like when everybody know your business and you walk in, I'm just like, I felt like Jesus when they said he could hear your thoughts. I was like, oh God, this is so weird. But I do my best to have the best smile. And I just believe kindness is always going to prevail stronger than evil and craziness and foolishness. And people will get an opportunity to see my character versus what's been said.
Yeah.
But I'm thankful that you took the time to even go into an environment where the whispers. Yeah.
Because, authenticity has a higher frequency than love.
Yeah.
So being my authentic self, 10 toes down by myself, like doing my work in therapy, doing my work in sound baths. And I did, you name it, I did it.
Yeah. Okay. Even went back to school after the reality show.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I processed all the messy stuff where I needed to process it. And showing up, that was not the space to be angry at anybody. And I started to humanize all of us in the process. And I can speak to it. I created my own YouTube page to talk about what I wanted to talk about, to say, do better. Let's
How
create
did he respond
systems.
to that? Because you like telling a lot.
And
I'm like, oh, here she go.
I'm gonna be 100 with you.
Yeah.
I ain't even scratched the surface.
Yeah. Okay. It's gonna get even realer.
But now I don't have to.
Yeah.
What's the win?
Yeah.
The win is Myesha found who she was. The win is Myesha survived the hardest thing. Myesha moved on with her life. Myesha found that she doesn't need anything externally to be happy. The win is I get to wake up in my skin every day. I don't need to expose anybody. I don't need justice. The gift is God has sustained me.
Every now and then that LBC come out though.
Oh,
every now and then I see a little bit of Long Beach Crib just come out. Every now and then.
Oh, I'm not gonna act like
when her lip KD hit like this right here, I'm like, yeah, that Long Beach.
I'm not gonna act like at some point in the journey I didn't want to pull up.
Yeah.
Okay, I got some killers in my family. Okay.
Yeah, I seen your dad too.
Yeah, at some point I did
He
feel
not
like
that church like that.
Some need to be done about this. Like, but then I was like, but you still lose.
Yeah. So I want you to do this, and I've only done this one other time out of 40 episodes. The only person that had the opportunity to do the close has been my pastor, Bishop Bronner. But I just know from just watching you and the experiences that you had that maybe there's something burning on the inside of you for somebody on the other side of that camera who may be in the most unbearable, unthinkable moment. And I would like for you to just speak to that little camera right there and just speak to the people, whatever's on your heart, because I believe that what you have endured is definitely valuable. And we value you here for you to come in your full self, keep it 100, brought that LBC. I think she even said too, didn't she, KV? One time?
I did. I cuss now.
Yeah, I thought she did.
I'm just teasing.
She did. She did. Y'all beep that one out because my kids told me stop. But go speak to the people real quick.
Yes. If you are watching today, I think it's divine. And I have been through some of the most hurtful, heartbreaking things in my life. I promise you, you will make it. If I am here, look at me, I'm here in my right mind. It's just a testament for what God can do for you. Because you went through a divorce, because you were unfaithful, because you lost your job, whatever it is, everything we experience in this life is a teacher. Learn the lesson, move forward, hold your head up high. There's life on the other side. I'm living proof.
Myesha Chaney, ladies and gentlemen, indeed. Family, do me a favor, make sure that you subscribe to this channel. Make sure you log on to helpyoumore.com for anybody who's going through, needs some relationship help, financial help, whatever it is. Go to helpyoumore.com, become a part of that community. And man, I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for the opportunity to sit down with somebody who's on the other side of healing, okay? It's two different things that's going on here. For some of us who've been in a relationship, you still got that scab. A scab is the start of healing. If you hit the wrong thing, that thing hurt, you're gonna yell, meaning that if somebody say the wrong thing, baby, you're gonna go back to what you used to be. But then you also have these people who have scars. Now this scar right here, it came when somebody stole something from me and they ran in the house and pure adrenaline, I ran to their house and they had one of them little doors and I just, boom, I punched it and all the glass came down and I scratched all my hand and I still have a scar. And I ain't gonna never do that again. I promise you that. You run in the house, I'm calling the police. You hear me? Hallelujah. But the scar, you could slap this as much as you want, it just doesn't hurt anymore. What I seen today was a woman who didn't have a scab. She just now has a scar. She can remember what happened, but it just don't hurt anymore. Maybe this is an opportunity for you to heal. And although you'll have a scar, that scar will only bring character. And it'll remind you, I ain't never doing that again, because you'll be different. Don't forget to love yourself more. Flat out.
Love you more, love you more.